And we're back. Yeah, so we have found something to chase in the form of a like a
Cabin?
cabin.
Mhm.
Cabin in the
Like a
woods
hunter's lodge.
Yeah, for someone to hunt us.
Hmm.
from with.
Yeah, so I think Adhikar like looks at this thing and is like, well, that looks like a good place to find something that's been hunting people.
Seems a bit literal, but sure.
Yeah. I think I turn to Crimson and I'm like, what do you suggested approaches?
Well, if you're asking for my professional opinion, I would say kick the door down and kill anything that looks weird,
I like it. I like your style,
sir.
Crimson.
Thank you.
um, and I'm like, turn to like the group and I'm like, we're taking the kick the door down approach. Do we have any volunteers? Yeah, and I'm like, and I'm and I like laugh. Adhikar laughs and says, what's the saying? Like if you want something done properly, do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, rookies, rookies, I want you paying attention. See how a professional kicks down a door.
I'm gonna beef this roll so hard now that
Um, I mean, so yeah, right? Like, so if the approach seriously run up to door, kick open door?
yes. Actually, I have a shield. I just
I
kind of want
mean,
to.
I mean, like, approach
Flying
door
like
carefully, then kick down door.
I want to get like 10 feet away, put my shield forward, and like juggernaut smash through it.
sure. I was more interested in like if whether or not like charge. Like honestly, I think you do. I think you just do. I'm not gonna call for a roll.
Okay.
The thing's empty aside from that fire. However, you there's like a cellar door.
That's not Crimson's territory. I'm gonna.
Do we know how
Boss-
to kick in cellar doors? Can you kick in a cellar door?
I think
Is
it's a
that-
stall-
Most
I think it's a
most
stall-
of them open outwards, not in, so it's
Uh,
very hard to kick
I mean,
in.
Yeah.
how do you open a cellar door dramatically then? I don't.
Pull like you
with
the
a gun
camera
and a
faces
lantern.
the camera faces the inside, and you open it up, and then like you see it
Right,
slowly.
yeah.
So I think there's like a loud boom as I charge through the wall and I come back, and there's wood debris kind of in my hair. It's empty. There's a door, but it goes down. Down. seems
Yeah,
really bad.
and so yeah, I tell I'm like, all right, we'll form a perimeter around the cellar door, and we'll see what's down there. I hope it's and I'm like, I hope it's not more bodies.
So you file into the cabin. It's like a decent sized cabin. Like it's not there's no second story or anything. There's like the fireplace, and then like um no rug. It still smells like that acidic smell, but there are like several like cabinets and like stuff like that, and like barrels full of like and things like that tucked in a corner that you might like keep something if you were like fermenting it or something, like if you're fermenting a bunch of stuff. And like
Oh,
one
I'm
of the
from South
rookies,
Australia. I know this story. No.
It's people
uh,
pickles.
but yeah. Anyways, that's all stuff. That's all stuff.
Uh, yeah, this is very okay. Like, Kemi, we're in literal Snowtown.
I actually don't know what you're talking about now, but that's cool that I hit a thing. Anyways,
Town called Snowtown, which probably didn't actually get any snow because
It's in the middle of the desert.
yeah, and the guy chopped up people and stored them in barrels.
neat.
That was
That sounds a lot like meat.
meat.
I have a lantern and a very nice gun, so I can lead the opening of the thing.
Sure.
That sounds wise.
I have a flare gun I can hand somebody.
So, what I think. So you open the thing and you start walking down, and that smell gets more and more pungent, right? Like that's a thing. And it starts like burning your like eyes, including your nose. And you walk down and you see essentially these like it's essentially a laboratory down here, right? So there is what would be considered like just a steel table sort of deal down in the basement, and then like where there's a person lying there in a few distinct pieces. They're separated out, so like head removed, are like shoulder, waist, legs, like all separate, and then like autopsy scar, like that Y scar, and then there are several like tubes lining the ceiling full of this green liquid, that are all going like they are going into this like odd, like it almost looks like like almost like deprivation tank sort of deal, like set up in like in a corner, and there's like definitely a figure floating in this like green liquid, but like it's so like opaque it's hard to like actually tell what it looks like. It's just you can kind of see it bobbing. And then there's like standard like horror movie stuff, like hooks hanging from the ceiling, but that's sort of the general vibe.
Sir, permission to kick over that thing.
Permission granted.
What
I'm gonna
about we
kick
just
over
burn it all and leave, whether or not that's a civilian or not? Like they're fucks now.
Well, we should kick it over so they're exposed to the fire that we make and then leave.
Okay, I'll start making a fire. You start kicking.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Salute and then runs off to put a boot to a tank.
So, medic, I think you're the only one that would think of this. You're not sure what happens if you set that liquid on fire.
Something awesome.
I don't care. We'll deal with that.
More, you're not sure like proximity safety wise for you and your people. So like that sort of deal.
Well, I'm gonna leave last.
Well, okay, so black shot is like gunpowder, right?
Sort of. Not. No,
It's more
not,
like silver
it's,
bullets.
Oh,
isn't it?
yeah, closer. Gunshot, gunshot. Black shot is not like black powder. It is a type of thing a bullet can be made out of, and the bullets don't like pierce stuff. They rather shatter, and then they're like weird alchemical shit destroys
Okay,
whatever it is
okay.
that makes undead thing.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Black shot's
So
actually very brittle. Anyways,
I would like to set a thing to that I can ignite from the top of the stairs, such that after Crimson kicks over the thing, we can leave and burn this place to the ground.
that sounds like a rig roll to me, or tinker rather.
I did tell you I had a flare gun, right?
I guess we could use that.
To set it on fire, but you still need the like chain reaction sort of deal, right?
That's fair. I just wanted to make sure that option was on the table.
I mean, if we need things like, if we need to have anything with us, like oil or anything, I can do that.
Yep.
I've already got a lantern
Sure.
and stuff. So.
Yeah, if the question, like, yeah, it's like as long as you think everything in here is flammable enough, that's fine.
It's a wood cabin, right?
Yeah, it's made of wood.
What's our position?
Your position. So I think like the current state of affairs is most people are downstairs. doing this shit, and you're upstairs like on the actual like entrance to the cellar, like doing this. Am I getting that right?
I would think that a lot of it would. I thought Tyrius and Crimson and Adakar would be in the cellar because it's a cellar, and there's not much room for the rest of the rookies. So the rookies are upstairs, and I'm in
I
a
should
corner.
I should explain that the actual cellar is much larger than the cabin itself.
That's bad.
That's really bad. Okay. I guess the rookies are watching the stairs so that nobody sneaks up on us and closes it behind us.
Back to the stairs, pointy stick forward.
Sure. If they're like rookies looking at both directions, I think this is risky for you rather than desperate.
What's my effect?
So you said you're setting this mostly a lantern?
I'm just gathering things that look flammable from around the place.
Sure. I'm gonna say limited. You can push to make that standard.
I will do so.
Alternatively, you could, rather than doing that, you could also push in some way. You could somehow make it a more desperate situation, and it would go from risky, limited to desperate standard.
I don't think we need desperate right now.
Just making sure you have all the available options in front of you. 6.
Should have taken it.
So yeah, you're able to salvage enough from the like contents of this cabin. There's like, by the way, there's like they're not upstairs but downstairs. There's like an actual bed, right? Like a normal person bed. Which you take like downstairs in the cellar. Yes. You like make that like take the sheets from that and use that to like help like line the fuse is essentially what you're making. You soak that in your oil. You have several of these barrels like around where you think the apex of the explosion will be to make sure you get rid of that stuff, and it all sets up nicely. Yeah. This is ready to blow whenever you wish.
That's what she said.
Nice.
Okay, classy.
Do the kicking.
Oh yes, the kicking. I do it.
Cool. So blowing shit up's a rig roll, or not rig, rather a rec roll.
Oh no,
Like-
I'm doing the blowing.
Oh, you mean like
doing-
just fucking throw that thing to the side?
Yeah, she's just knocking it over to put the person out of it.
Cool.
That's rack, right?
Cool. Yeah, that's rec. That's also rec.
Okay. Risky standard.
Fuck. What even is the position for this?
I don't have a fuck option on my position.
God damn it. Risky standard.
Okay.
You don't know what's inside.
Got a devil's bargain?
Yeah, several. Let me think of an appropriate one, however.
Do we get a discount if we get lots?
No, sorry. Devil's Bargain. So I mentioned
demons.
like demons. Yes, demons. That's the Devil's Bargain. No, so Devil's Bargain being whatever's in here is still alive. So the thing, like, actually, no, not giving that one because that may or may not be true, regardless, based on the roll. More, however, this liquid, you're not sure what breathing in this much of it will do to you immediately. That's better. So I'm going to say corruption, mostly.
Okay. You know, my mom always said, if you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough. So, got a 5.
Cool. So yeah, you like take it, and there's like wires and things, weird like things that like you're not an orate, so like you've never really like dealt with like machinery before, but like you take it and you throw it down and it cracks and shatters, right? And like this foul odor pours out, and you take this giant whiff of it, and that's gonna be 2 corruption. Right
I'm gonna
there.
resist that.
Okay, you can resist that down to 1 corruption if you'd like. This is a
Um,
resolve resist.
Okay, well I've got
Actually, no, sorry, you can't resist it. It's a consequence of a devil's bargain. You can't resist those.
Oh well, fuck!
Sorry, I that is a thing.
I didn't even think about that part. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, 2 corruption, that is non-negotiable corruption. However, this you could probably resist if you'd like. The thing shatters, and you hold it down in such a way that like that figure is facing like towards you essentially when it shatters. It lands on its side, and it's essentially this bloated person that with their like lips sewn shut and their eyes sewn shut and their like ears like folded over and then those sewn and like they're like they don't react because they can't see you. They react because their environment's changed and they're like trying to scream but can't, so like there's this like tearing sound and then they explode. So that's going to be 3 harm.
You. Okay. So.
Ash's face.
Hi.
I have a fine tower shield that I'm hiding behind.
Cool. Yeah, that'll. So I should describe what it's like a little bit because like then you can describe like how you resist it. So it's like the force of the explosion is like enough to knock you back, but what's going to like deal the 3 harm to you is more acid, that sort of
The
deal.
debris.
Like it's going to dissolve like so 3 harm is like debilitating. So like if you weren't to resist it, essentially what would happen is you get splashed from like head to toe. It starts melting your armor into slag and then starts burning you and like it's covering your face and you can't see anymore. So yeah. Then so tower shield in front of you, the protect's down to 2.
Okay. Woof. I've got fine armor.
Cool. You can take that once to take that down to 1, and if you wanted to take that again, that would take it down to 0.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think what happens is like the acid, it hits the shield and kind of splashes, and then I see the shield getting dented, and I throw it across the room, and then I think really quickly as it's eating at the armor, I just rip it off me and like break all the leather straps.
So essentially what happened is you weren't aware of, you've never dealt with like liquid weapons, right? Like it's not a thing you've encountered. You weren't aware that whenever you're dealing with this sort of thing, you're supposed to tilt your shield downwards. So when it splashes, it doesn't splash in your face, right? So like it covered your helmet and stuff like that. So you had to get rid of all of your armor. So yeah, that's what happens there. That's done though. That happened.
Lovely.
We should leave.
Are you naked?
No. I feel naked with that armor on, but I am wearing clothes, thank you.
Cool.
I'm like, I agree. We should leave.
Everyone out, and then I'll blow it up.
Sure. So if I'm remembering correctly, everyone's gonna leave, blowing things up. If I remember correctly, you could argue either tinker or rig here. I think
I already tinkered to make the explosive.
Yeah, you tinkered to set the explosive. No, I think yeah, you're right. You did the thing. I think you can just set it on fire. You're completely correct.
So there's like a click and a thump, and then Tyrius legs it out the front door into the snow with everyone else.
Yeah, I think the thing goes up in flames. For one, at some point the like floor collapses. I think the floor collapses when the roof collapses, and then that there's like this pillar of like green smoke that starts pouring out.
Nice.
So yeah, the things like laboratory has been disturbed, but you're still unsure of like how to get it to stay put. It seems to know the terrain very well, and moves very quickly.
We have established one place that it is not.
It's true.
What if we camp here and see if it comes to fight us because we blew up its lab?
That's an option, although it's going to get colder before it gets warmer. Hope you brought winter clothes.
There's a fire just there.
Not a fire you're going to want to sit near for long.
I have winter clothes equipped. Or we could go looking for other cabins full of horrible things.
Well, if it's getting to be night, we're not going to be able to do as much in the darkness as whatever's trying to attack us, I'm sure. This is, of course, all contingent on what our leader feels we should do.
And I think Adhikar is like, I'm listening.
Making camp and regrouping might be good.
Yeah, making camp to stay warm, and we've got a wider light source from the burning cabin also.
Sounds good. Let's and I'm like I call out to the rookies and I'm like, rookies, make camp.
So that happens. I do, however, have a few questions. Making sure, does everyone have winter's clothes? Is that a thing everyone has?
Yep.
Yes, I do.
Cool. In that case, you don't have to fuck with frostbite or anything, because that's a thing that would happen otherwise. So yeah, you make camp. That's fine. One of the rookies, I think actually, Reggie was the one carrying the tents, so someone had to take the tents from him when you shot him. And so like one of the tents has like some bloods on it, and like the rookie that really likes Adhikar is the one that's like, that'll be my tents, ma'am. That's fine. I don't mind. And just sets that up for them. Yep.
Is this Kettle?
Ooh, probably. I think so.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, Kettle pitches this tent and then pitches the rest of them, and then who's on first watch? Like, what's the watch like situation like actually?
I don't know that Crimson particularly trusts the rookies, at least.
Yeah, the rookies. No one the rookies are still shaken, aside from Kettle, who's in denial.
Well, we need to keep Carter and we need to keep Kettle because those are player rookies.
Yes. So I'll take first watch.
Okay. So standard like three shifts at the night or 4. I just want to know like a timeline.
Adhikar will wake up early.
Adhikar and
for last shift.
So Crimson, Adhikar, who's in the middle? Is that the medic or a rookie?
We can let Carter do it if you want.
No, they might die. We'll do the medic just because we're now babysitting the rookies.
Sure.
Let's say Carter's mine, so if he dies by my hand, it's okay.
I just want to scroll up and check a thing very quickly. I'm just looking to read. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. That is exactly what that is. So I think so if no one's actually going to be like how to best put this? Yes, I know how to do this. So I think at some point during the first watch, or not first, rather second, during the second watch, during the medic's watch, there is like that feeling of being watched returns, and can like you're kind of like staring out into night. At this point, I think the fire is like still raging pretty hard over at the cabin. And I think like how close to like the trees are pretty much everywhere, right? And there's still like rustling of leaves and things like even late in the night, but there aren't animal sounds or anything anywhere. So like what's your plan? Because I think first watch went by pretty uneventful.
Yay.
Sit around and look for things. I just occasionally shine my lantern into the forest.
That sounds like a scout roll to me. Sense danger before it happens sort of deal.
Well, it is my position.
Risky.
What is my effect?
Standard.
Oh.
Oh, take the lowest result. Okay. So, I think what happens is you are like shining your lantern around, and then you spot like it's one of those moments where you go over the thing you were looking for, and then you go back and it's gone, sort of deal. So for a split second, you feel like you see this figure up in the trees in this like cloak, and they're wearing some form of mask, but you can't see the mask quite right. And then you go back and they're gone, and then they're right behind you. Like you hear their like footsteps on the ground, and then you're able to like get out like that like alarm that like you're able to yell the thing, and then I think you get stabbed.
That's
but
good.
the camp is alert. You found the thing, you sense the danger.
Can I resist the stabbing with some armor?
Yes, I'm just doing maths in my head real quick. Because it's a tier 3, you're a tier 1. It's only on a risky though, not a desperate. So I mean, it's still probably like level 3 harm still. Arguably level 4, but I'll give you level 3.
I can't come up with a reason to use insight, so I'm going to have to use a prowess roll.
You could come up with whatever reason you wanted. It wouldn't work. It has to be you are being stabbed, so it's a prowess resist.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't get to call which thing it is. It's not based on how we resist it. It's based on what the thing you're resisting is.
The source of the harm.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to do prowess to try and resist it further than my armor.
Cool. So that's 2 stress. That is that takes it down to level 2 harm. So what I think was going to happen is that it was going to like stab you through the back with like its bladed hand and puncture like both of your lungs simultaneously. And instead it nicks one of them, right? You still got a punctured lung, but you're able to move in such a way that like it's not like debilitating. Yeah.
And I pass out because I reach maximum stress.
Wait, reached maximum or gone over?
I've reached like full.
You don't trauma and when you fill the bar, you trauma when one pushes you over.
Right, okay.
So you're okay.
It's different in this game to other games, Cammy.
Yes, this is
you don't get the
unique
release
one.
of unconsciousness.
Not yet. But you're able to get the alarm off, right? Like what? Like you yell or whatever, and people bolt up. The thing's still like the thing is going to try before people are up. Try and flee now that its attack has not killed you.
I want to shoot it with Blackshot because I have a really cool gun.
Sure, that sounds like a skirmish still because of the situation you're in, rather than a shoot.
I am going to push myself, so I'm going to do this, shoot the guy, and then pass out.
That's fine. Have you already taken a trauma?
Effect, or
very, very quickly? Have you taken a trauma before?
No.
Cool. You're fine then. Shooting it with a pistol in close range is fine. If she was using a long rifle, she would take reduced effect. That seems fine to me.
But yeah. My question is if Cabby is pushing herself for extra dice or for.
Oh,
increased
I
effect.
misunderstood what your question was. Sorry.
Well, I need the extra dice because otherwise I have 0.
Very well.
What's my position?
Desperate? They're like right. There's not much.
It might
more
just kill
desperate
you.
than this. It
What's my effect?
effect level is standard black shot. Oh wait, no, tier. So you're tier 1. It's tier 3. You have black shot, which pushes that from scale's not a factor. I'm still gonna say standard. It's not super durable. It's
That's
just
why
fucking
he's running.
freaky. Just fucking freaky. That is a 6.
Yes.
So yeah, you shoot it. Like it's I think it was going to flee, and then like it like you've seen how fast this thing can move, right? Like it's fucking phenomenal. So it like retracts that claw, is about to leap, and then like I don't think it gets off the ground. I think you like shoot it, and like you get a good look of it now. It's like wearing this like plague mask, right? Like an actual plague doctor's mask, and it has this cloak of like feathers. And you shoot it, and it stumbles back because I think you like shot it across the face. I'm gonna start a clock of it real quick. I think it's just a 6 clock.
It's not just dead. I
No.
shot it real good.
Sorry. Token. Boop. These I will tick up. Where's choose side? A 6 on a is 2 or 3 ticks. Ash, do you remember off the top of your head?
It's I don't know
3.
on this one specifically. Let me have a look.
It's I believe it's 3.
Yeah,
Because
it's
one
3
tick
and the
would be
crit is 4, I think.
yeah, because one tick would be a failure, 2 ticks would be 4 to 5. Yeah, so
Mhm.
3. So yeah, you shot it, and it didn't do the fleeing thing that it was going to do. So people get up and they see this thing in the center of camp, and like I said, it's like you shoot it, and it has these like metal claws that are very much like made, not a part of it. And this plague mask, which I think you shot it and like shot its head, and like the mask is partially shattered, and so you can see part of it's like you broke part of that beak off, which if you know like how plague doctor things usually work, they had like flowers in there. I think there's actually like that green vapor pours out, like it was breathing that in. And like you see her face, and she's like grinning at all of you, and she speaks and is like, "Hello, pretties."
No, sword time.
Sure. That sounds like a skirmish to me.
Mm-hmm. Like charge across camp, find large weapon. I'm thinking this thing's basically like the Buster Sword from that Cloud has in Final Fantasy, like that
Yeah.
big stupid.
Yeah,
And I just want to cut this thing in half.
sure. She has tear on you. Scales not everyone's
Activate
crit.
superpowers.
There
Yep,
you
I was about to say activate War Machine.
Are you also popping anchor or no?
That just says groups of lesser undead. Does it work
She
here
is.
with the one?
Oh, okay. So there's how anchor works is when you pop it, you become higher in scale.
Mhm.
So like right now you are on even footing. If you pop anchor, you would have scale on her. Which lesser undead thing were you reading?
Well, it says anchor. It says while on a mission, you may spend anchor uses to fight as a small group. This means you can face groups of lesser undead without loss of effect.
Yeah, so groups of lesser undead are a horde of ones, right? Like that
Yeah.
sort of deal. what essentially this means in this case, rather than like without losing effect, you are gaining effect over her.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let me use my anchor because this seems like a big bad.
Sure.
So, is this risky or
Desperate still.
Desperate.
Actually, give me a second. You have scale over her. She has tier. She has quality. You pop. Yeah, still desperate, but you have great effect. No, standard now. Risky, great effect. There we go. Because you popped anchor. There we go.
Okay. And I get 1 extra die since I pushed myself for the thing. And fuck, really? I got 4?
You still kill
This-
her. You
Yeah.
still. So you still kill her. So because you have great effect, so that's
Yeah.
it would normally be 2, and the great pushes it to 3. So I think what happens is you go to like stab her, right? Like you like fucking you go to bisect this
Mhm.
woman now, you know. And what I think happens is like that happens, like that just works. And she like, but before it happened, she turned to face you, stared you on the eye, and grinned, and is like, "Goodbye, lovely." And like the blade hit, like, and then I think she pulls several pins on what looks to be a bandolier.
Okay.
Yes.
And yeah, she's going. She's. I think what happens rather than like an explosion, it's this like alchemical discharge. I think you are going to take level risky. So yeah, I think you're going to take level 4 harm off that.
Okay.
I think this thing's just going to instantly make you like have a heart attack sort of deal. Like you're going to choke. Like really, what I think is going to happen is I think your like entire throat's going to swell up from breathing this in because you're the one close enough. Like everyone else is like just going to just fucking flee. What I will say, because this is a consequence of a risky action and it's a lot of harm, if you resist it, I'm going to say you could resist all of it rather than resist partial, because it is a lot of harm. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, yes, I'm resisting that because I don't want to be the dead.
Yeah. But yeah, essentially, what would have happened? Because like in the Band of Blades, like, but like in the alternate reality of this game, where you choose not to resist for whatever reason, I think like your tongue swells up to such a point where you can't breathe, and then your eyes start bleeding. And then you just choke to death.
Oh, okay. See, I was thinking at some point I just turn into a weird zombie thing, and then they have to fight.
Oh yeah, you get back up afterwards. That's how that works. But you choke to death first.
Yeah, it sounds pretty bad on both sides. Okay. So yeah, no. Prowess resist. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it depends. It's a weird case because it's not a physical thing that is hitting you. It is the consequence of a prowess action. So yes, it prowess resist.
Okay. Yes.
Awesome. No stress. So yeah, you bisect her. She says, "Goodbye, lovely," and pulls these pins, and that discharge comes out, and it's like you can tell that's bad. So you like hold your breath and cover your face and back away as quickly as possible and go stumbling out of camp. But you killed her.
We did.
Nice. Yeah. Do we want to? I mean, like, yeah, we're nearly due for another break, so. Yeah. Do we want to do that? Or is there anything anyone wants to do in the like face of the thing being killed?
No, I mean like there's nothing on my end anyways. Like you killed her. The only thing would be if you want to address like even seeing her killed and stuff, your rookies are still fucked, right? So like they're going to have issues from here on out unless steps are taken to
I'd like to try and discipline them.
Sure.
As far as like in a not shooting them way. I know that sounds crazy, but
It's very unorthodox, but I'll hear it out.
I wanna like basically like discipline them by showing by like lauding Crimson, right? Like being like, look how great and amazing, like, you know, the Legion is and its heroes and blah 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 blah.
So I'm trying to think.
Or is that
I
a
was just
consort?
I was going to say, so discipline is commanding obedience, which I mean, you're not telling them to do a thing. Like
No.
it depends on what your
I'm trying to
is.
boost their morale.
If you're trying to boost their morale, I would say rather than a consort, it's probably a sway, because consort is making them your friends, right? It's like connections to heritage, background, friends, or rivals to gain access to resources, information, people, or places. What you're trying to do is change attitudes or behavior with manipulation or seduction. This is a form of manipulation, in my mind, anyways. Seduction. It
That
sounds like a
chemistry.
sway roll to me personally.
Hey, Aaron, do you want to help?
Of sure. After
Can I
I
help?
come back from
No, because you're still KO'd.
Already over the limit. Okay.
It's just that I have no dice in this, but
I have one. Can I do the thing and then pass it?
Do you have? Wait, where are you at for stress cam? Are you?
So I got stabbed,
Yeah.
hit full stress, pushed myself to shoot the thing.
So you went over,
And then
so
went
you're,
unconscious.
yeah,
You're
so
traumatized.
You're
Okay.
traumatized,
You're out until after this roll.
Risky
I
standard.
will help you. Yes.
Alice, risky standard.
Oh, I'm sorry, I completely blanked. Yeah. No longer desperate, because they at least like they're not as scared as they were, because the thing has been dealt with, right? But it's
Alright.
still like they're still
Yeah.
fucked.
The half-naked lady killed the boogeyman.
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, I think they're just like I think you say the right things, right? It's just the only person that heard you was Kettle.
Yeah.
The rest of them are just like not in a place where your words are reaching through. It's not even that they're not wanting to listen or that they're disobeying rather. They're all nodding. It's just they're not getting it. It's not sinking in.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I guess they're fucked for now. Shall we head back? I think I turn around and I'm like,
Everyone go back to sleep.
I know what I say. I say, well, I don't think anyone's sleeping, getting any sleep for now. Let's pack up and head back. So yeah,
You heard her. Back up.
let's go to break.
do that.
And I think afterwards we'll come back for like one more thing and do all of our downtime stuff.
Yeah.
And then finish
We
up a bit.
we have back at camp scene, downtime stuff.
Yeah,
and then-
exactly. And then
Secondary machine.
Yep, cool, awesome. All right, we'll be back in a minute, chat.